what testing methods can I use for CRO? Well, really the core concept here is, what is a test? It's just comparing the performance of the current state of the site to a change that you're trying to evaluate. That's the core principle of a test, and different methods are essentially just different ways of executing on that. So an A/B test is the baseline, and different types of tests are handling different ways of allocating and distributing traffic within the variations of that test. Traffic allocation is controlling how percentage of traffic that goes into the test, and then distribution is how is that traffic split between the different variations that you're evaluating. Basic level is an ABN test, where N is additional variations beyond the first two, and typically you're distributing traffic evenly between all of those variations. A multivariate test, it's where you're combining different A/B tests together, essentially. Like you're trying to test multiple different combinations of changes at the same time and resulting in a matrix of variations. A multi-armed bandit test is a test where you're evaluating multiple changes, but then the test algorithmically adjusts traffic distribution to variations that it looks like will be better performing. So underperforming variations have reduced traffic because they're non-starters, and traffic is placed into variations that are likely to be more performant. A painted door is a type of test where you're sort of faking functionality of a feature to evaluate if it's worth actually implementing or not. Discovery test, where you don't maybe necessarily have a set purpose in mind. You're just testing multiple different things concurrently as an investigative method to see what channels are better to work with or not. Iterative versus disruptive tests as well. Iteratives are degrees of change where you're improving and iterating on a specific thing over and over, versus a disruptive test where you're changing lots of things all at once. And then inferiority or non-inferiority. Inferiority is evaluating, is the change I'm making explicitly better than the current state? Or a non-inferiority test is, am I testing this to evaluate as long as it's not worse than what I already have in place? So there's lots of different ways to execute on the core concept of a test.